BCCI president-in-exile N.Srinivasan is now officially being investigated in the IPL scam. That's the big takeaway from the Supreme Court hearing on Friday. Along with the Srinivasan, few other names were made public, but all of them are officials and not players, as the Supreme Court doesn't want to malign the image of players just yet.
Up until now, N.Srinivasan's biggest defense was, I am not being investigated, so why should I step down as president of the board? But today, the Supreme Court made it official that the BCCI president-in-exile is under the scanner. Along with N.Srinivasan, names of Gurunath Mayappan, Raj Kundra and IPL CEO Sundar Raman were made public by the Supreme Court with suggestions of misdemeanor on their part. The court has now asked the four who have been named in the report to file their objections within 4 days. Soon after the court hearing, the BCCI swung into damage control mode and further postponed its AGM by 4 weeks.
Right now nothing has been proved. They say probe is still going on. So unless there is a court directive, unless court says something, we cannot comment about it. Let's wait for the court directive.
The Monday hearing made it clear that the court wants to deal with non-players first. And while there are names of certain players too in the IPL fixing report, the Supreme Court has placed a ban on players' names coming up for the moment. The next hearing is scheduled for the 24th of this month.
Supreme Court will do complete justice. We must all have faith in our judicial system and the knowledge and wisdom and the vision of the Honorable Supreme Court.
NDTV has learned that 9 players are named in that sealed cover, 3 of whose identities were revealed by the Supreme Court on Friday. But even before the court takes up the matter of the players, they are firm about investigating the officials and finding out how deep the rot runs. In New Delhi, this is Rika Roy for NDTV.
Various reactions coming in, and this is what former BCCI president had to say, Shashank Manohar, and he said, and I quote, the BCCI image has been tarnished by the actions and attitude of Mr. Srinivasan. The gentleman's game and the board's regulation is at its lowest due to the egoistic and autocratic behavior of one man. The board and the game is bigger than any individual. I appeal to all board members to rise to the occasion and prevent the board and game from being further destroyed, unquote. And we also spoke to NDTV's Sunil Gavaskar on this big story a short while ago.
I think the AGM has been postponed, and so if the AGM is postponed, it must be for the reason that they are allowing the Supreme Court to go ahead with the process, which is going to be, I believe, in a couple of weeks' time. And from there on, I think it will be a little more clearer. Yeah. Because at the moment, there is really, apart from the fact that he's been suspended, there's no ruling that actually bars him from contesting an election or standing for re-election. So that is something that over a period of time only we will get to hear from Supreme Court.